Hey guys, thank you for joining us on the Wow Man Chef. So, I'm actually going to do something different with this show. I started out by interviewing other people, and I am going to have one more interview with my buddy Chris, just because he just got back from Southeast Asia. I really want to hear what he's a doctor, and I want to hear what his experiences were down there and share it with you guys. But other than that, after learning more about how to do podcasts and social media and all this stuff, especially from a guy I really like watching, Gary Vee, I decided to do a solo podcast instead and talk about more how my work in fitness and health is going and some of the stuff that I learned and give you an insight on the process to getting to the goals that I have in mind. I've always wanted to have like that visible abs, and I went from being very overweight, not quite obese, but very overweight, to being a little bit underweight now. I'm not quite to the fat percentage to have visible abs yet, but as I want to give you some background of the things that I've learned along to get here and give you insight onto what I'm doing to get from here to the next level. And hopefully it helps you with whatever you're doing, whatever goals that you're trying to achieve. I also want to give you insight on how I am making this more, everybody calls it like it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle kind of stuff. And I think that phrase is a little overused. I want to help you guys get in the mindset of a marathon. And I ran a marathon, and once you actually do that, you start to understand what kind of mindset you have to make any sort of change in your life or in your health or fitness. So, to start, today I want to talk about what I'm doing with intermittent fasting. For those of you who don't know, intermittent fasting is, there's a couple ways to do it. You could either go 16 hours without eating and then have an 8-hour window in your day for food consumption, or you can take 1 or 2 days a week and eat nothing and just totally fast. Me, I like to do the 16 hours a day of fasting and then the 8 hours a day of eating, just because I work from home, so I make my own structure to my day. So it really helps me to get a little bit more structure to my day, making sure that I'm getting things done. And it relieves a little bit. I notice that when I eat in the morning, even if it's just high protein and fat and not carbs, I get really tired and I have a hard time getting started up for the day. Whereas today, especially, I woke up, got my coffee, and I'm already going. I'm off to the races. And it's been really helpful for me to make sure that I'm being as productive as I need to. You gotta really try stuff out for yourself. A lot of us have different habits, we have different priorities and responsibilities, and so try a couple different things. For me, I woke up one day, it was maybe like last week, and I just wasn't hungry, and I didn't really even get hungry until about 3 p.m. So I was like, okay, well that wasn't that hard, so let's actually try this for real and see if I can do this regularly. For others, you might get really hungry in the morning, but at night you're just not really needing to eat. So maybe better for you would be to wake up, get your breakfast, everything else, and at like around 8 a.m. or so, and then just do eight hours of eating from when you wake up, and then you just don't eat for the rest of the day until the next morning. It's up to you. The real key here is getting that 16 hours of fasting. Now, intermittent fasting, the practice itself doesn't have much scientific backing, but what it does, actually does sound funny. What it what the process does actually does have scientific backing. So that state of starvation, because your body doesn't have any energy going in order for you to go about your day and do what you need to, it is forced to take the storage of fat and use that for the energy. Now, another piece of that as well is, especially if you're starting your eating in the morning, you want to make sure that you are timing the kinds of foods that you're eating. And there's stuff on Instagram saying 1500 calories is 1500 calories no matter when you eat it. This isn't true. This is not backed by science. The science says that your body will take carbohydrates and produce glycogen with it. And that glycogen, if any of those who have tried like Atkins style diets where you don't have any carbs or you're just eating proteins and fats all the time, you guys know the best, where your brain gets really foggy, you can't concentrate, all this stuff. The reason for that is because that glycogen is responsible for the energy that your brain gets to function. So the catch is that your body will only use that glycogen for as long as it needs it and the day that it needs it for. So when you're eating carbs during the day, your body will use that energy immediately for your brain and all your functions to give sugar to your like muscles, whatever. And then it's good. But the thing is that if you eat carbs at night, you're not doing anything at night. You're sitting around. So where's the energy going? Well, your body can't use it. So it is storing that glycogen, sugar, as fat immediately. So if you've had any situations where, man, I'm keeping my diet good, I'm consuming the right amount of calories, but I just can't seem to have any results even after a couple of weeks. Well, are you eating carbohydrates at night before bed? Because if you're having trouble getting that next level, that could be a really big piece. I'm not saying eating no carbohydrates, like, you just gotta find little changes to replace. If you enjoy having something sweet at night, I suggest having Greek yogurt with maybe some frozen fruit or something. And that is a really nice dessert. You get a little bit of those carbs from the fruit, and you're mostly getting protein from the yogurt. So it's little changes here and there, but if you do have a goal in mind and you're struggling with it, try making that change and see what happens. The science does support it. So yeah, intermittent fasting, it's been doing good for me. It's hard. Whenever you're trying to make changes like this in your physical makeup, it's challenging because your body, it is designed to want to hold on to fat for dear life. And so I really tell people that you want to make sure that you have the mental and emotional bandwidth to be able to make this change. If you're dealing with a lot of stress at work and your family is challenging to keep up with, all this stuff, you gotta kind of take it in stride and make sure that you're not putting too much on your plate, because that's where binges happen. And that's when we get the case of the fuck it's. Fuck it. I'm stressed, I'm hungry, I'm just gonna get McDonald's. So it takes bandwidth. It's like a tank. This self-discipline, self-control, it's a tank. And when you use it for if you're using it for a lot of stuff, life stuff, you don't have very much of it left over for making those changes. So if you can find a place in your life, make sure you have everything else down, or, adding little bits. You don't have to go intermittent fasting right away. You can make a decision to eat 2 meals a day. Some of us, that's not that hard, but you can make a decision where you're just gonna skip breakfast. You're just not gonna eat. You're just gonna eat maybe a late lunch, and maybe the next day eat a little bit of a later lunch, and the next day, you wait till you wake up at 8 a.m. and you don't eat till 3. So it's little steps here and there that make it so that you're content and happy, relatively. Happiness is the way you look at life, but you're not making yourself crazy by trying to do these things. And that's the way you do it, is those small changes. And I really want to help everybody get into this mindset of the marathon, because the marathon, it is a marathon, and you're not going to get a six-pack abs tomorrow. You have to make small changes along the way. You're not going to be able to starve yourself to get there, and starve yourself, by that I mean, like, you're not going to be able to go on a 5-day juice cleanse and lose all the fat that you want to lose. So, and you made me lose a bunch of fat. Christian Bale did that. He smoked cigarettes like crazy and didn't eat, and you got super skinny for the machinist, but it's not sustainable. Those guys have to prepare very, very hard. They have to work very hard for those roles. And so if you want a sustainable fitness, then you have to look at it as a marathon. And the changes are small. You're gonna get there, but you have to be willing to accept the fact that you're going to put in a lot of work and see no results for a while. And that's what happened with me. I've been working at this for 5 years. I've gone up, I've gone way down, I've brought it back to the middle, and it's because I've worked out those mental habits that I am back at a weight where this is where I actually feel kind of okay, and now I'm looking to get to that next level. So I hope that helps you guys out for today. We're just gonna try out this form of the show, see if I'm helping out you guys. Go ahead and hit me up if you have questions or anything. You disagree with anything I say. Let's have a conversation. You can hit me up on Facebook, the Wild Man Chef. You can, I'll hit up Twitter too. You can if you hit me up on Twitter, I'll check it. I'm on Instagram a lot, and I'll post a link to this podcast on Instagram. So if you comment under the link, then I'll definitely converse with you there. But I'm available. So get at me if you have any questions, and I can help you in any way. And yeah, I'm gonna start doing some little recipes here and there, and kind of sharing some really good little hacks to making the chicken breast and rice at least palatable. I'm about to make some myself. So yeah, keep updated. I'm gonna be releasing these just about every day, and I hope it helps you guys. Give me any kind of feedback that you have. Please leave a rating and a review. They mean so much to what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish and give to all of you guys. And I'm just here to see if I can help you guys out with the challenges that I've worked through. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.